Hello soulmates. Today I would like to show you how I make my basic skirt pattern. For this pattern, you're going to need your waist circumference, your hip circumference, the length of your skirt, and your waist to hip measurement. So let's get started. So the first thing I did was I started with a horizontal line at the top of my paper, and that will be my waist line. If you're going to put a band on your skirt, you have to subtract from your waist to hip measurement the height of your band. So my waist to hip measurement is 8 inches. So if I want to subtract or have a 1.5 inch band from my starting point here, I'm going to put my 1.5 inch and then measure my hip measurement. So in this case, my hip measurement is going to be 8, which is here. And also I'm going to take the height of my skirt, which is in this case 26 inches, and I'm going to add 1 inch for hemming allowance, and I'm going to make these into a straight line. Okay, so at your waist measurement, you're going to impute your dart. To get your dart, you need your bust point to bust point measurement, or your bust span measurement minus 8. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and I'm going to put that at the waist and also at the hip so that I could get an accurate line going down. There is that line. Now you are from your hip measurement, you're going to go up 2 inches, and you're going to add a 1 inch dart at the top. Now you're going to connect that 1 inch dart to the 2 inches at the bottom to create your dart measurement, or your dart. There you go. So now at your waist, you're going to put your waist measurement minus 34. So a quarter of 34 is 8.5, right? And I also have to take in consideration this 1 inch dart. So at my waist, I'm going to put 9.5 inches plus 1 inch to sew my skirt together. At my hip is actually 43, and a quarter of 43 is 10.75. I'm not going to put any extra allowance at my hip because this is a pencil skirt. I want it kind of fitted, so I'm going to put my exact measurement, and then I'm going to add a 1 inch seam allowance. Because this is a pencil skirt, at the bottom of your skirt you're going to subtract either 1 inch or 2 inches depending on what you want. I'm just going to take 1 inch away. So at my hip, that was 10.75. Down here I'm going to put 9.75 and 1 inch for my sewing allowance. Okay, so at my hip, what I like to do is come down maybe about 1.5 inches more, and then I'm going to take my hip curve and I'm going to connect these lines here. Yes, here and the here. Then I like to just bring this down just a little to the 1.5 inch point before I actually start to curve it or make it straight to the 9.75 inch line here. Okay. To me, I believe the skirt fits me a little bit better when I come down by 1.5 inches. So this, I'm going to blend it up so that it looks really nice. So at your waist here, you're going to add your allowance to sew the skirt to the band. So I'm going to put 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. Okay. So this is my sewing allowance to hem it or to add it to the band. Then I'm going to take my hip curve, and what I like to do for the front, I like to go down like a 1/4 inch more or 1/2 inch more, and I will connect this point here to the 1/4 inch mark that I made there. Some persons like to go down 1/2 inch. I go down 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch is okay. This helps the abdomen area. Right? I don't want to cut this off as yet. So this is now the front of your skirt pattern. So if you're drafting on your fabric, you can also draft on your fabric too. That is quite fine. You can also use the front of your pattern to make the back, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how to get the back also. So this is the back of my skirt. What I did was that I add my zipper allowance. This is my zipper allowance. You could, I added 1 inch, you could add more. So as the front, as I did in the front, you're going to take, this is your starting point, your waistline. You're going to take 1.5 inch away from your hip measurement. Mine is, and then you're going to add your length of your skirt. Mine is 26 inches and 27 for seam allowance. Make that into a straight line. So here I have my hip line. Now you're going to do the exact dart that you did at the front. Mine was 4, but you start from the zipper allowance. Okay, do not make that mistake. Start at the zipper from the zipper allowance. Okay, so remember, from the front we came up by 2 inches. At the back you come up by 1 inch or 1.25. I like to come up by 1 inch, and here I'm going to input my 1 inch dart, and I'm going to draw a straight line to connect to get my dart. Okay, so I'm gonna put my measurement. My waist is 34, so that is 8.5, and I'm adding 1 inch, that's 9.5. My hip is 43, that's 10.75. Okay, and I'm gonna add a 1 inch dart here. Okay, so now you're going to add your seam allowance here. So that would be 9.75 plus 1 inch to sew it together. Okay, then you're going to connect your lines. All the way over. So remember that I went down 1.5 inch. You have to do the same at the back. You're going to right. Then you're going to connect it to the and that, my friends, is your back panel pattern. Here you're gonna go up by 1/2 inch as you did the front, right? And then you're going to take and you're going to connect this point here to that point there. And that concludes your back panel. All I'm gonna do now is to cut this out. This is the back. Okay. This is the back. You're also going to slit this part open. Okay. Remember, you cut and fold, right? You have to fold your fabric into back part of your skirt, right? Cut and fold, and this is the front. Cut those off. Cut your seam along here. And this is your finished skirt pattern. So this is the front of your pattern, and this is the back of your pattern. I hope you find this helpful. If you did, just give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. And just to show you what it will look like on your fabric, this is the back of my skirt. I'm gonna sew this up, and this is the front part. I also cut my waistband. This is my waistband. I'm going to put interfacing on it and sew it to the skirt. So thank you so much for being with me today, and I'll see you in my next video.